When I saw my final piece, just rocking out on that runway, the best way I can describe it is I felt resilient.
Anything I wanna be, I got freedom on repeat. Don't change, please, 'cause I love it, just like this.
Welcome to the Pima Show. I am Sherry Gyro, and I am your host for the Pima Show. And that video that we just saw was of Britni Newell. She's a fashion design student at Pima Community College, and she is here with us today. Britni, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here. So glad to be a part of your journey with this as well. So I'm super excited to get into it.
I am too. And I see that you brought something really fun, and we kind of saw it in the video earlier. Show us what you brought. This is one of your claim to fame kind of pieces.
Yes, of course. The famous recycled denim. This is a bow look that I had made out of all denim. It's just used from different qualities and textures and everything. I love all the fun colors within it. And then as well as the pants, they're probably my favorite. Even though this is more extra, I want it to be more minimal with the bottoms. But as you can see on the side seams, I just added all different belt loops from different things.
I love the loops, the side loops. There's something special about those, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. So actually for these, it was crazy because as I was deconstructing all these pants, I think I had described in the video as well, but I just feel like belt loops, they hold up your pants all day, like you rely on them more than you think you actually do. So I kind of think the same thing with feelings and in life in general. So I just feel like it was a good momentum to add on there.
And they came from people who donated them to you as well.
Exactly. People
That's
that
so
donated
cool.
them to me, a lot of my friends, even my best friend, her kids, all the pants that didn't fit them anymore, she even gave to me to use for this too. So it's like I have pieces of family members and everyone involved in this entire garment.
And you told me this garment kind of helped you through some really tough times that you were struggling with. And that's why we're here. We're here to talk about mental health issues, maybe to perhaps inspire some other students who might need some help, who might be struggling. It kind of affects just about everyone. At least once in their life, they kind of struggle with some kind of mental health issue. And according to the National Institute of Mental Health, 1 in 5 adults struggle with some type of mental illness in the United States. And with peer pressure, exams like you just took, writing papers, tests, studying, it's no wonder college students really struggle with some type of mental health issue. And you told me that you had some issues yourself that you were dealing with, especially when you're making this piece here. Tell me about those struggles and how it affected your schoolwork.
So I want to say, especially with school, it's hard enough to even wake up in the morning for some people that deal with anxiety and depression, to be out in public, to put on a face, to put on a filter, especially with today's day and age, social media, et cetera, all these expectations that adults and family and kids and everyone surrounding you feel expected to be a certain way and be peachy perfect all the time. And it's crazy because I feel like when I had done that interview, the one that you guys watched prior to this, I was going through a lot, but I feel like I was going through a lot because I was focusing on filtering everything and being so perfect. So for example, this garment that I made, I'm super proud of it and it's amazing, but I feel like I was so focused on it being so perfect that I feel like I put this expectation in my brain of what I'm supposed to be and who people are viewing me as, and especially the profession I'm going in. No matter what degree you're going in college, you always feel like you have to hit this certain bar of perfectionism. And so anxiety and depression, dealing with that, and especially me, like I'm not medicated personally. I know a lot of people do medications and things, but that's just not the route that I choose to go. I totally support whoever does though, jealous. But sometimes I feel like what I've been learning is surrounding myself with people that love me, but also at the same time being your own motivation too. Because me and my best friend came up with this saying recently that we're not going to go through it, we're going to get through it. So no matter what, at the end of the day,
great.
As long as you're getting through it, that's what matters. And you just honestly have to see the light at the end of the tunnel. That's my best advice I can really give with that.
That's a great way to see things too. It's just positive,
Yeah.
right? The glass is half full. When did you realize that there was an issue, and how did you address it?
So I realized, at least as of even before recently, at that time, I want to say I realized was when I just didn't want to do anything anymore, when I didn't even enjoy doing this, when I didn't want to be around people, when I couldn't sleep. My sleeping schedule was off. I personally, it's hard to talk about, but I know some people go through it as well. Like I wasn't eating, I'm an active person. I love to work out. I wasn't working out. And then school's been my number one like motivation, because if any other college student knows, like you have no choice but to do it if like you're paying for it or someone's paying for it. So it would force me to do it, but I wasn't even doing it. Like when I saw my grades going down, that's when I realized this is an issue. Like I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to eat. You kind of just completely like lose sight of yourself too, because as y'all can see, I love getting ready, and I wasn't even getting ready. I have no confidence. You don't feel like yourself, you know.
And so how did you address it, and what resources did you use to get some help? Like what point in time did you decide I need to do something, and then what did you do?
It's crazy because it's hit me at the same time every year. I feel like I go through a depression season. For me, it's usually between like December and the new year, which kind of sucks because you don't want to go into the new year with that. But I feel like it always hits me at my deadlines. Like when I'm pressured, I feel like personally I work better under pressure. And I want to say it hit me mostly towards the end of my school years. Like it kind of made me notice that I was like, dang, like don't let this control your life. You know, it shouldn't be. And the resources I did use was I journal a lot. So writing has definitely been helping me. I don't know if anyone else does. Finding that outlet definitely helps. Creative outlet, writing outlet. Resources for me, I have a loving family that cares for me, so I definitely went to them for certain things. And I actually went to the student resources here. I called the number. I don't know. I forgot what the number was, but
I have it right here.
Oh, perfect. Great minds think alike.
833-251-9941. I'm glad you brought up student resources.
No,
because I wanted to ask if you knew about it.
And my advisor, like, I have a new advisor now, Melania, I believe is her name, but my old one, Fabiola, like, if you're watching this, I appreciate you so much. She got me through so many things. Like, I know that it's hard for people to approach their counselors or even academic advisors because you feel like, oh, they have all these students and emails flooding. They're not going to pay attention to me. That's what I was scared of. But she never gave up on any time I reached out to her. Like I would reach out to her and then I would get scared and I would ignore her emails. She would still check in and be like, hey, I don't know if you got my email, but da-da-da-da. And just that check-in is that reassurance for some people that are scared to talk about how they feel.
Yeah. That's wonderful that you had her and you had that resource. And I want to go over some of these. It's called the Student Wellness Assistance Program, yeah. Student Wellness Assistance. And basically, you can find links at the Student Wellness Assistance webpage. You can find counselors like yours. Fabiola, was that her name?
Fabiola, yeah.
That was her. You can find other community resources because sometimes people struggle with mental health because they can't pay the rent. They can't find food. They have other economic challenges, and then it just brings them down. And so, believe it or not, the Pima Student Wellness Program has these resources to help students like that. And again, I'm going to repeat that phone number, 833-251-9941. I think that number was a lifesaver for you.
No, honestly, and especially because me personally, I don't know how other people are, but I'm a full-time student, full-time worker. Like I am always busy and working, that you kind of put your mental health on the back burner, but then you burn yourself out. And that's where I was. I was just like physically and mentally exhausted. But to even just reach out, like it can make such a difference. And it definitely did for me. And I personally, I feel like I'm very self-aware. So especially when you're not self-aware, it's good to go to therapists, especially free resources. Like take advantage of that because I've been struggling with getting health insurance this whole year. I've applied 3 different times and I've been denied. So to even just get this free resource really like saved me because I haven't been able to afford normal therapy either. So
it's amazing.
Really
and a lot of students don't know about it. So that's great. You mentioned to me earlier about your teacher. You had a teacher or somebody from the faculty that noticed that something was going on.
Yeah, so Nancy actually, again, if you're watching this, you saved me as well. All my fashion instructors have been amazing, all of them, but Nancy's actually the head of the fashion department, and She just always understood me. She always understood the way I worked as a student. And she just pulled me aside one day and kind of just informed me, like, hey, is everything okay? Like, what's going on, you know? And because I wasn't putting anything in our last year's show, I was like, I'm not going to put anything in. Like, I just want to get the grade and that's it, you know? And she just noticed that it wasn't really like me of that. So she just gave me a helping hand and was just, she actually booked a meeting with me. Like, she didn't really give me a choice. She's like, no, here's your meeting. This is when we're going to do it, whether it's Google Meets or in person. But she wanted to do it in person because I feel like online, for me personally, I can filter out what I don't want to talk about easier. But in person, eye contact and things like that, you can't lie to someone about, you know. So she definitely just, she just gave me the best advice and just told me to not give up. Like, because I just told her, I don't think this is for me. She's like, what are you talking about? Like, I wish you could see yourself the way that I see you, you know? So to just even have that clarity and that reassurance, especially from someone you look up to and is in the department you want, you know, that's a wake-up call, you know?
Yeah.
So she definitely saved me for that.
Shout out to the faculty. Always go to a faculty member, too, maybe if you're struggling. In, like, maybe one quick sentence, what advice do you want to give to students who might be watching this?
I would say kind of what I said before, but no matter how dark it gets or no matter how hopeless you feel, the only person that can help you is yourself. So, you know, just reach out. That's the best thing you can do is reach out.
Britni, thank you so much for joining us. Before we go, there's a little tradition that we have here at the Pima Show.
Oh my gosh.
We break out with our little Polaroid right here, if I can open it up. Let's see. It's old. This is my old Polaroid. I brought it.
Love it. I actually have a Polaroid.
I don't know how to open it up though. Unfortunately, oh, it goes this way. Yes, that's right.
Gosh, perfect.
And so, can you hold up your piece?
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a Polaroid and then we're gonna put it on our wall of fame over here.
Oh my goodness, I feel so famous.
Tell me when you're ready.
Here, okay. Well, let's try and hold this.
Just hold up hold up the angles. I have to back up a little. Yeah, hold up that flower. There we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Cheese. Awesome. Beautiful. This is going on our wall of fame.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Britni, I really appreciate you coming. And thank you, everybody, for joining the Pima Show.
Thank you.